Yes, Reds, we are back. It's the post-match call-in show, guys. You know the score now. You know the score. There you go. The link is in the chat, guys. The link is in the chat. So if everyone wants to come in and have their say in the game, hit that link in the chat, guys. Everyone is welcome on these post-match call-in shows. All I ask you to do is if you come into the chat and you want to talk, just be polite, be good. No silliness, and we will be absolutely fine, guys. So if everyone wants to come in, the link is in the chat right now. Jack, Statman, the link's in the chat. Press the link. Come on in, guys. I'd love to hear from both of you as well. So, yeah, Liverpool winning 2-1 against Aston Villa. A good game of football. And it was a good game to watch as me and Jack did the watch along together. It was a decent game. It was a decent game, wasn't it, Jack? But at the end of the day, we've got all 3 points, and that's all that matters right now.
Yeah, 100%. I'll say, yeah.
Hello, mate.
We were sweating our knackers off, really, weren't we? But it's never going to be easy if whatever team wins the league, mate. But yeah, we've done the job. That's what was needed tonight, and made up, Jay. Yeah, stay what you reckon.
Yeah, go for it.
God, so take us through the bloody mill, don't they? Really, they do. No, I don't know what it is. It's just, I don't know if it's nerves or what. First half performance, obviously, apart from the sort of last 15 minutes where we started to control the game in the first half. Second half, I mean, great finish from Mane for the second goal. How he done that, because it was backwards when he went, so he had to get his neck and just put the power on it. It was great finish, but once again, we've got obviously Ali to thank for getting us out of the mill again. How many times can we say that this season, where 1-on-1, he's just there's no one better than him in the world. And like I say, it's not about catching Man City on goal difference, because we still don't need to worry too much about goal difference. I think we just need to concentrate, win our games. And Man City have got 2 difficult away trips against Wolves and West Ham. So they're not going to be easy. Both teams are obviously going to be fighting for Europa League positions. So there's still that little bit of hope. Obviously, like Jamie said it a few times now, this was one that wasn't in our hands. If we can do it, fantastic. If not, we've got to obviously congratulate Man City. But tonight, it's not always about the performance. It's about them 3 points, especially with it coming towards the business end of the season now, mate.
Yeah, exactly. And Rod's in the house. Hey, Rods.
What are you saying, man? You're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Doing,
we're
mate?
good.
Can you hear me? All right, mate.
Yeah. How you been?
Yes,
fella?
my Geordie friend. How you doing?
I'm good, mate. You?
I'm good. And you up there. I'm sending you a tweet and everything now. You ain't asked me back yet.
I've been in Newcastle, lad. I've been a busy man. I'll get back to you, lad, anyway.
All right, brother.
Probably these 2 know my socials. I'm not the best at replying, so apologies.
No, I can vouch for that. I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
Quality.
You're a good lad, Jack, though. You're a good lad, mate.
Yeah.
Rod's my man. Your view on the game?
Not bad. I mean, I thought that's what you expect from sort of playing Villa. Do you know what I mean? I think the most important thing is that we won the game. That's the most important thing. We won the game. I would have liked to have more goals, but you can't have everything. Do you know what I mean? They just got to start passing the ball a bit faster. Get that ball, pass it faster. Get it to your man, and get in there. Some of the passing sometimes was a bit stagnant. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But not a bad game. Could have done with more goals, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's 3 points. What could you say? Do you know what I mean? You can't complain, can you?
Exactly.
No, exactly. I mean, we've got these sort of games are always going to be difficult. I'll get John here, Savage here. There we go. How's everyone in the house? How are we all doing?
All the boys
Savage?
are.
Go on, boys.
Evening, boys.
How you doing?
Evening.
How you been? John, you're good?
I'm all good, mate.
You're all good. Sound. So, yeah. John, remember what we said in the live chat earlier.
Yeah, it'll be okay, matey, as well.
Just give
We're
us a
there.
message if you need anything, my man.
I appreciate that.
Always love, John. Always love, my friend.
Hope you're all right, John, mate. Hope everything's okay, mate.
I appreciate it.
Savage, my man. Thoughts on the game?
Good old school game, man. Hard fight. I didn't really feel like I was in any threat of losing the game or drawing, to be fair. I just knew that Villa would put up a fight. I don't think it was such as the fact that it was Liverpool. I just think when they play the bigger teams, they try to throw their weight around a little bit, and their fans always love it against Liverpool. So I'm happy for the win. Good goals. Shaky start. But yeah, apart from that, man, I'm happy, bro. I'm happy. I mean, I know that a lot of people wanted the goal difference up, so did I, to be honest. But at the end of the day, even if you look at our first game, Villa do tend to like try and throw it around, especially when they're at their own pitch. So yeah, I'm not too mad at it. Performances are all right. Odd mistakes here and there, but I don't think anyone played terrible. You know what I mean? So I'm happy with it, man.
Yeah, 3 points is all that matters at this stage of the season, anyway. John, how did you find the game, my man?
It was all right. It wasn't the best game, but we got the win. That's all that matters, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
This stage.
the Phillips were doing my head and rolling about acting, and
Douglas was all of them, and Watkins.
Yeah.
all they were doing my boxing. But then they got 3 points. That's all we need.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this game, obviously, we've got the cup final on Saturday. Does anyone know the Fabinho situation? Because obviously, me and Jack didn't have the volume up listening to the game, and
He felt his hamstring, didn't he?
Yeah, when I looked at it, apparently,
Yeah, hamstring.
Yeah, the physio said that he was fine to continue, but Klopp took him off. Now,
Yeah, you can't risk it, can you?
I don't. Is he pulled it, or is he just feel tight?
No, I think it's felt tight. I think it's felt tight twinge, and Klopp's not risking it.
Yeah, exactly. Because me and Jack were both saying if he did pull his hamstring, the man would be emotional because that would mean he'd miss all the cup finals.
Yeah.
So the way he came off, it looked like for me that I don't think he plays the cup final Saturday. What do you reckon, guys?
I actually don't know.
You never know. It depends, isn't it? It depends sort of like how bad it is and everything. If he's just like he's felt it and he felt it tightening and everything that, I think they might be doing something and say, look, you know what, we'll take him off as a precautionary measure. Do you know what I mean? So he is ready for Saturday. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it really depends how bad it is and everything that. Because I remember when I was in Germany working over there, I messing about through my pals and everything that, and I ran and everything that, and I done something to my hamstring and it's fucking painful. It is really painful. So it all depends on how bad it is. Do you know what I mean?
To be fair, the way sports science is now, they'll be able to do checks and stuff and find out not only if it's injured now, but if it's
what grade it is and stuff in it.
That's what I used to do it in college and stuff like that. And it's quite advanced with stuff like that. But to be fair, he was terrible before he got injured. So I don't know if he already felt like he had an injury. To be honest, I'm not joking. Like he was moving very slow.
They did say that in the commentary, didn't they?
Yeah,
they did say that.
Sometimes, as a player, obviously everyone's going to say you shouldn't, but when you're a footballer and you're in the mix of it and you want to carry on playing, try and go through because you think it's a little twinge and stuff like that. And I feel like he must have felt it early because he was pretty bad at the beginning of the game. But hopefully it picks up and stuff, and we'll see, man. But to be fair, I know it's FA Cup and he's going to play in the Champions League final. If he was asking me before he got injured, I wouldn't have played him in the FA Cup to start the game anyway. I actually wouldn't have played him. I feel like as along with people being rested, I feel like some people are going to be included because there's so many cups to go around and stuff like that. And I'm not saying we shouldn't play our best team, but you could play Hendo in that spot, to be honest, and then see how the game goes because his lateral movement and stuff once a player turns him is pretty slow, which probably caused whatever it was anyway. And against Chelsea, that's an issue when certain people run past, but you never know, and we'll see what happens. But hopefully he's okay. And Naby as well. Hopefully Naby's all right as well because he was holding his groin a bit.
What happened? Has Naby just lost his testicles?
No more kids for him. Tough one.
Yeah, he's one might have got a bit lodged up there somewhere. You know what I mean? It might just, might just got a bit lodged up. You know, I don't know if anyone's had that. It's not good. I mean,
That's
I'm
not
laid
nice.
up. Get your kids out of the way with first, then it's all right. But yeah, it's like me. I've lobbed off my big toenail. Yes, the other day, my whole big toenail came off when I was moving my bed. It caught my nail. Totally came off. Yeah. I mean, I'm laid up. I've got this is like a 2-grade tear on my toe. I'm telling you, it's the worst pain ever. It's the worst pain ever. And I've had worse.
You should cut your toenails then, isn't it? JP should cut your toenails, man.
I leave them long on purpose to keep the kids away from me. That's why.
Oi, listen. Anybody remember that link? You remember that Lynx advert? The Lynx advert with the mother with the little toenails.
Yeah. I just hang my foot out there like that.
Yeah, if you're getting sponsored by Lynx in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going on to Lynx at the moment. Why is Lynx a £5 a bottle? Paying £5 a bottle.
My nan's fucked buying that for Christmas.
That's London prices for you, Jamie. Southern prices, should I say?
I've still got about 1,000 bottles of Lynx Africa from about 7 Christmases, so I'm good for a while.
You always get them for Christmas, don't you?
Yeah.
Lynx.
Right. Sadio Mane Day, boys.
We're talking about Lynx, Jack.
Yeah, no, Sadio Mane. Go on
Mane.
Yeah. No, I was just watching his interview there. I don't know if you lads seen it there as well.
Yeah.
I just love him. He plays with a smile on his face. He has done for years, and he's always that one player that did step up tonight, and quite rightly got man of the match because, as always, all the lads have said, and everyone in chat, we were at 6s and 7s at certain moments within this game, but he's always plays with a smile on his face, but you always get a performance, and it wouldn't surprise me if he does step up in both of these finals to come in the next couple of weeks, and he is our man to hopefully win the competitions. But he's a cut above the rest, and I didn't like me and you were doing a watch along, Jay, did we? I don't know how you lads felt. It was I understand Mo will be fuming. He's that type of player. But he had a face like thunder coming on, I should expect. But Sadio Mane, for me, get this man signed down to his contract.
Yeah.
He bleeds red. Get him boxed off.
He's brilliant.
Yeah, I love him.
I love Sadio. I think there was a stat that he scored more goals since February than any other Liverpool player.
Was it 17? Was he? Or 17 or something. Yeah.
He's on fire at the moment, guys. So Savage, Mane. How do you feel about him today?
I love him, man. I love him. I think I'm so away from us fans. I'm very happy for him, man, because obviously he had a torrid last season. He was giving quotes and stuff saying that he didn't know what was wrong with himself, which was even more worrying because when you don't know what's wrong, I was thinking, that could be anything mentally or the fact that we didn't know how COVID was going to progress. So I thought he was excellent tonight, man. I think he was throwing his weight around. We'll talk about it later, but obviously they got Mings at the back end, so I did tell everyone that there's nothing to worry about. He's absolutely trash, man. But he threw his weight around, man. I mean, away from Mings being shit, him and Konza, that's how they play football, and they try and throw their weight around and bullying. It just doesn't work with it. There was parts of the game when he was just holding up the ball on the byline, flicking over people's heads, holding it, passing it, and the turns and stuff. I love him, man. I'm on the boat as well of sign him up. I've been on it. I've never wanted him to leave. He's had stages in his Liverpool career when he's the best left winger in the world. I know everyone's quick to forget that, but he wasn't Messi at the time. It was him, definitely. I think he's crucial for Liverpool going forward. No matter what happens, I don't think his legs are going to go on him or anything like that. He keeps himself in tip-top shape, and I think the main thing, he just looks like he loves to play football, and he actually thinks about the team before himself. You can see it. Even when he has a bad game, he's running around defensively and trying to put in the work and stuff like that. And I thought he was, for me, him and Costas tonight were great. So yeah, man.
Oh, totally.
His little graph there, spot on there, mate. I don't know if you've seen that graph there. He's a better form than since was it on in the season?
Yeah, I think he got 10 before February, and then after February he's got 12, ain't he?
It's pretty much AFCON, isn't it? He got a boost from AFCON and then he just kicked on.
AFCON just cheered him right up. I mean, he's floating, ain't he?
Yeah, I think I said it to Jamie. I don't know. I think I said it to you before, Jamie. Yeah, I did, didn't I? I said it on the stream about like the fact that the way Mane lives in Liverpool, like he's on his own, isn't it? He's been on his own. I remember seeing something with him on his own before, and maybe just the boost of being back around his own people was the thing. Like I think being able to see his family and going to his village and stuff like that. Actually remembering that everyone away from in England care about you as well, because obviously in England he loves Liverpool fans as well. But there will be parts where you think the people just love me just because I'm playing well, and when I'm playing rubbish, all of a sudden I'm not loved. So I think it might be the boost, because he was even smiling different on them when he was recording stuff himself from Instagram, and I was like, okay, he looks very happy. He gets that boost. I know he only just lives. It's just him and his chef who live together, and probably, I mean. So I think, man, shout out to him, man. I'm very happy for him.
Yeah, man, it's good. He's good.
I live with my chef as well. Her name's Lauren.
That's your internet getting switched off, Jay.
Steve Mane, my man.
Yeah, fantastic. Another great performance. He's the main man at the minute, isn't he? He's getting us out of the old Mia and the or Maya, however you pronounce it. He's just phenomenal. And obviously, I think obviously going forward, I think Salah should stay on the bench. I thought he didn't really do anything when he came on. So for me, obviously Mane's got to be the central striker, Diaz on the left, and I don't know. Does Bobby start on Saturday? Do you think with him not coming off the bench? He's obviously he's been in training, hasn't he, all week? So
it's gonna be I don't know.
I think bring him on later.
Yeah,
I just wouldn't start Mo. I don't know what it is with Mo. He's not been the same since obviously he went to AFCON, to be honest. I don't know if it's the psychological thing, like obviously with Egypt not winning anything with his country. I just don't know. But obviously he's a quality player, and he's a good person to have there. But I just don't think. I think he's sometimes trying too hard, and obviously the goals will come. They will definitely come. But I think Sadio, worthy man of the match today. He's just like the guys have already said. He's playing with a smile on his face. It looks like he's enjoying it, and just get him tied down as soon as possible, because things are only just going to get better with him. I just really do see that.
Rods, do you agree with Steve there, my man?
Yeah, I agree with Steve. I agree with everybody when it comes to Mane. I think Mane puts a lot of hard work into the team. He doesn't moan. Do you know what I mean? He never moans and stuff. And to think at the day he's getting paid lower than the rest. Do you know what I mean? You know, but he still don't say nothing, and he just does his thing. When he goes to back to Senegal, he's a king out there, because he gives back to his community. He's such a humble, well-grounded person. Do you know what I mean? And as Savage said, when he plays with a smile on his face, and he's an all-rounder. He's more of an all-rounder than what Salah is. Do you know what I mean? Because he'll get back and defend. Do you know what I mean? He'll be a playmaker. He'll be a striker. He'll be a winger. He's amazing. And I think at the end of the day, yes, get this guy tied down, and I think that, right? Because once you got Mane in your squad, and I think that anything's possible. Do you know what I mean? Anything's possible. And I think, yes, at the end of the day, sort of like Salah should hold the bench for a bit. He should hold the bench for a bit, because his game is not really. It's like what you were saying last week, Savage. He always waits till he gets into the area, the box, to try that little trickery and this and that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I would like to see him. I like to see him do that outside the box. Do you know what I mean? Create something. Do you know what I mean? But Mane is brilliant. He's just brilliant. I've always liked it ever since he come from Southampton. I've been watching him when he's in Southampton. Do you remember that game that we had against him and everything that? And he come off the bench and everything that, and he bagged 3 goals.
Yeah, he murdered
us. He bagged 3 goals. He turned our defense inside out. Do you know what I mean? And then what was it? Klopp said, "Yeah, I want that player." He goes, "I want that player. I want that player." He's brilliant. He's just brilliant. And he starts every time for me.
Like Neil Jones just put up on Twitter here, Sadio Mane asked by Sky if he's ever been happier at Liverpool, and he said, "Yes, when we won trophies, I was happier. I'm just trying to enjoy every moment. It's all about the team. The boys make it easier for me." And that's what you want to hear, isn't it? That's just Sadio Mane just looks like Sadio Mane just looks like one of them just beautiful guys, don't they? Just do anything for you. One of them. Bit like myself. Let's talk about Mo for a second, then, Savage. Let's talk about Mo for a second. Obviously, he was dropped for today's game. He did have a bit of the ox face on him on the bench today. Look, I can understand players not wanting to, being pissed off that they're not playing. They want to be in the pitch all the time. But I think sometimes Mo's got to take it on the, got to take it and just think, I've not been playing well. I'm going to sit this one out. I'll be fresh for Saturday. What's your taking on Mo today?
Okay, I'm going to defend him a little bit with his face today, only because I literally mentioned to my son that I reckon people are going to say he's sitting there looking. The way the camera caught him, to me, it just looked like he was watching the game intensely. Because when we scored and you saw him behind Klopp, he was celebrating just like how everyone else always celebrates. Which is like usually when somebody's sitting there like that, I've seen them not celebrate at all. But I'm never gonna know, am I? So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. Of course, I know that he will be sitting there wanting to be on the pitch because the game where I think it was Newcastle when we rested loads of players and we had that amazing shot when it showed all of our players on the bench. His face was exactly the same in that game as well.
Yeah, that is true.
So I don't know if he was just watching the game, but in terms of Mo himself, listen, he's done so much for our club that. Everyone's going to have points where they fall off a little bit. Luckily for Mo, he'd done so much earlier in the season that, there's so much of a contribution to the team, but you can't really rest on that. And, of course, individual accolades to him are important as well as the team doing well. And every time he's interviewed, he quickly says to the pundits, it's about the team first. So I got to believe him. But I think it's different when you're on the pitch and it's tunnel vision and you just want a goal. And his way of helping the team is to score goals. So in his mind, he probably thinks he's doing the right thing. But sometimes he needs to just take his time. I feel like at the beginning of the season, he was taking his time. And when he couldn't score or when there wasn't an opportunity to even shoot, he'd pass the ball and that's when he'd get an assist. Whereas now, there was I can't pinpoint where it was in the game. It was towards the end where, he had just come on and somebody had laid the ball off to him and he shot. But he does this shot where there's no conviction behind it. So even if the player didn't block it, Martinez would have just picked it up. Or there's a tightest gap and it's probably best to pass the ball. There's people in position. I can always see Jota and Diaz behind and he'll try and put it in the top corner, which is what we said on the calling of the Tottenham show as well. And I feel like I said then, he doesn't have anyone who's going to... Everywhere else on the pitch, people can be replaced. And he's got the one position where he's never going to be replaced. There's no one else to bring on. He knows that. And even if we jig everyone else around, he's still the best person in that position. But he does have to just, I don't know, he has to get his head down. He can't get special treatment because he's Salah. You know what I mean? We give him time to, have a few bad games. It happens. He contributed when he hasn't scored. But now it's becoming even his performances... See, he might as well have 10 men sometimes. So it's, you know what I mean? And that we know about that right side anyway, is where most teams try and target. So obviously he has to help Trent with the defending as well, especially if Hendo's busy doing something else. And a lot of the times it's kind of this tracking where it makes it look like he's trying to track the person back, but really he's not doing anything. I've seen Jota do that a few times before, but Salah does it quite a lot. He'll run back. There's no conviction by trying to tackle this person. But on the camera and on the yard, it's going to say he ran this many yards and he done this much. But I don't know, man. It's not worrying. I just feel a bit bad because I know that he's always going to start in whatever cup matches are coming up. Yeah. But at the same time, if it's on form, he's the person out of everyone who doesn't deserve to start. But he's Salah at the end of the day. And I'm thinking more and more about his contract and what he said, where he tried to say it wasn't about money. There's just other stuff that I need assurances for, and I want to know how important I am to the club and stuff like that. Now I'm wondering, what are those things? Is it game time? Is it where you just don't get replaced, or all of these things? I honestly don't know anymore. But we'll see. We'll see. But like I said, done great for our club. But he's got to do better. Totally. And he can't get away with it just because he's Mohamed Salah. But I'm sure he tries all the time.
Totally. It's Sabiri in the house.
Sabiri,
Hey, bless up, guys. How you doing, Savage?
Going on, brother?
Raj, how you doing, man?
Going on, bro?
We got Sabiri.
Yeah, man, big up, self. Big up.
Sabiri, that's Jack next to me.
I do,
as
mate.
well.
Okay.
Hey, how you doing, Jack? You did a watch along before, Jack?
Yeah, with Jay, he put up with me anyway, so not too bad.
How you doing there, Jack? How you doing there?
So before we get to Sabiri, I've put Jack's, Savage's, and Rod's YouTube channels into the chat. So guys, make sure you go and subscribe to them lovely people.
Nice
well.
one,
yeah, big love for that. Big love.
You're good. Sabiri, my man, give us your thoughts on today's game, because I know you've got some really good thoughts.
I was a bit in and out on the game, so I'm not the right guy for the game. I'm the right guy to manage the mood and expectations. But as far as the game, I think it was solid. I think it was typical Liverpool performance. I noticed something today and on the weekend. Teams roll over for City, but they'll fight us for the bone.
Yeah.
Bang on. Me and Jack were saying that.
Yeah, we said this on the screen, didn't we?
Oh, you guys were saying that?
Yeah.
Nah. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, man, for saying that. Because I didn't want to have like a City agenda. But I'm seeing City score 1 goal and the team give up, like, it's done. You know, but when they play in Liverpool, they turn up. When I mean they turn up. Yeah. Everything is coming at us. Teams that don't press high up the field is pressing us.
Yeah.
They ain't pressing City. So I'm watching the game today, and I think we had a game like this last season as well, where Mane took a boot to the face. It might have been the season we won the league, and Mane took a boot to the face. I want to say it was West Ham. I think it was Villa. Might have been West Ham. It was a 2-1 win. Mane with the header.
It was Villa.
Yeah, Mane with the header took a boot to the face. We won.
Yeah. It was Robertson and Mane.
Yeah, it was a typical Liverpool win. So I'll call it usual proceedings for us. But I just can't stand the fact that you got Pep talking about everybody want Liverpool to win the league. And as soon as this team score a goal, they roll over.
Mind games, man. Mind games.
They just roll over. As soon as City go 1-0 up, even if the team go 1-0 up, they still roll over like, we're sorry for scoring 1 goal. Now you can put 6 passes. But Liverpool, they're coming for our necks. I don't like that. So I decided to consult the alcohol. Consult a very good therapist of mine. She really helped me out today during the game. She was lovely. But yeah, so I was kind of in and out of the game. But I think it was good. From what I saw, it's just typical Liverpool stuff, man. There's not much to do. It's like going up a hill. You have enough gas. Your car has enough horsepower. But for some reason, the day your car hits the hill, it turned into this steep-ass cliff. It's a normal hill year-round. You can go up it fine. Everybody goes up this hill fine. Soon as Liverpool comes up against it, it's like top-quality passes, high pressing, great tactics. And on another day, it's just a regular-ass team or regular-ass challenge. But when it's against Liverpool, that's like 100%. And it sickens me, man. I can't stand watching it. I might stop watching Liverpool games.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I too agree. I'd love to see Thiago Hendo since Fab pulled his hamstring. Harvey for the Chelsea final. Harvey Elliott, he ain't played a lot of football. The money these guys ask for, like they're not on enough already, only hurts the team as financial fair play becomes an issue. Yeah. And if they all want more, it will take the modest money. You can only keep an elite team. And I said this earlier on. Timo Werner, like Liverpool we all know Liverpool were after Timo Werner last summer, right? Yeah. The summer before. And he chose to go to Chelsea. He's on 200. This is the difference between the two clubs. Werner is on 220 grand a week at Chelsea. Diaz and Jota are both on 90 grand a week at Liverpool. So combined, they're still on less than Werner is at Chelsea. And I'd rather have Jota and Diaz in my team than Werner. Yeah. The business Liverpool do is fantastic. And I want to get to one player. Me and Jack would call him. Jack can take this. Start off with Jack. Jordan Henderson. I thought he came on and made a massive difference to the team today. And Savage likes Hendo, so he's going to be.
Al Capo and that. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was, obviously Endo was in the interview. He said it took a while, didn't he? We were playing with 10 men before he come on. But Henderson, as me and you were saying, Jay, and if he was Brazilian or called Hendersini, I think a lot more people would love him a bit more because he's a Sunderland lad from the northeast, or like he has to. Since he's come into Liverpool, he's defined a lot of people. Me, I'll hold my hands up. I have for years, but he's turned a lot of heads, really, and quite rightly, because he's a captain of Liverpool Football Club, and he does his best. And today we needed him on the pitch. Because, as the lads have said already at the top of the show, there was moments in that game that game could have run away from Liverpool, but he was screaming at players a couple of times when Trent was drifting inside. He was telling Trent, get back into that position, really. Didn't want to be seeing what we'd done against Tottenham a couple of days ago anyway. So, yeah, he's going to be pivotal for the last couple of games now. Champions League, I think he will start in the midfield three, even if Fabinho is in or out anyway, but I think Henderson has to start. It's because we've seen Naby against Real Madrid. Was it last year when he was just non-existent? He was letting players drift past him, and from a defensive point of view as well, you need that bit more reassurance. But Captain Jordan Henderson come on today, done the job as a lot of the players did in that second half, but he done what was expected of him and probably a bit more as well. But go ahead, Savage. For me, Savage, he deserves a lot more credit than he actually does get.
He does. It's people. I've always said about, before we go to Savage, I've always said about Hendo, he does the stuff no one's interested in watching about, and big play. We live in today's game of football that you've got to be techie and you've got to be able to do, take players on at, dropping his shoulder and, 30-yard screamers. But what Henderson does is the stuff that people don't watch. And
similar to when Ginny went as well, mate.
Exactly. And you can tell the difference when they're not playing. When Hendo ain't playing, you can tell what Hendo brings to the team. So, Savage, I'll let you go on the Hendo because...
I love the captain. I love the captain. I think he's been great for Liverpool. He's always working hard. He's always trying to improve. I feel like he sacrifices a lot for Liverpool, to be honest. You know what I mean? Totally. He's had that cloud over his head for a while, obviously, until we won the league and the Champions League and stuff, where people kept making out that Liverpool's too much of a big football club for him to play for. But I honestly feel like he has way more to his game than people think, but he's happy to just do what Klopp wants him to do. And I think that I remember the season when we finished point behind City. Yeah, Champions League season. And he wasn't frequent in the team all the way through the beginning of the season. And I remember I was playing against Southampton and was in the purple kit. And he was incredible. And then I think from that day, Klopp just kept him in because it was taught that season of him moving on. It was like Fulham or someone like that. And listen, everyone has the style of football they like to see. For me, I have loads of different styles I like to see. I like to see different aspects of the game. He does do the dirty stuff. This is why every time we have a live stream, I bring up what he does for Trent on that side because I can see him so much graft going in, which means he can't really express himself as much. But I thought he was great tonight. He's been playing good, to be honest. I feel like he doesn't get his props when he does, and then when there's a game when it's a bit off, everyone piles on it. And I think a lot of stuff as well. I kind of learned this today as well because fans are quite fickle. From the Tottenham game and today in the Villa game, looking at like live streams and stuff like that, I can't see who's talking on it. I'm convinced that these people are kids who are just like so fickle, swapping between the team and stuff.
No, they are. That's why I'm FSG in. Because there's kids saying FSG out.
They have to be because I saw people screaming about someone scoring a goal. This person's great, and then they miss a chance, and all of a sudden they need to get out of the club and stuff like that. Like I said, Hendo might not be the prettiest on the eye to people and stuff like that, but he's very noticeable when he's not playing. He's a great captain, and he's coming to the latter part of his career and stuff, and I'm sure he'd manage it. But yeah, man, you're right. The leadership I saw today, that's one of my favorite parts of today when I saw him screaming at Trent, dragged his arm, screamed at him, get back in that position. And that's all I was thinking is this is exactly Trent was there because it's been a weird tactic the last 2 games where Trent's taken it upon himself to just drift in right into the midfield.
It was right, left, and central today.
Yeah, because at one point I was like, "You're in Jones' spot, man. Like he ain't got no space to run." And I do think with Trent, I think it's just that Liverpool means so much to him. He's trying to take the game by the scruff of his neck, kind of trying to do a Stevie Gerrard role. But give you time, chance to to move into that. Gerrard didn't start off like that. You know what I mean? Just play your game where you know you're good and stuff like that, and we'll do great. But yeah, Henderson, great tonight. He's been good. He's had off games like everyone else as well. But what we'll say about Liverpool, I think when Zabiri said about his typical Liverpool kind of game, I think what happened is there was parts of the early parts of the season leading into like January AFCON times where we were getting the results. We actually wasn't that good. Like the games were kind of like all over the place, but we still won the game. And then we had a period from January onwards where we started to play really good football. And now we've gone into just the results business. So it's a little bit unbearable when we don't get the result and we play bad. But I think we played okay. But yeah, man, that's my I love Henderson, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was good. It's wicked.
I've got some news on Fabinho. Hang on, the wife has just sent me this, so up the wife.
Go on, wifey.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing. Luke's in the house as well. How are you, Luke? You doing?
How we doing?
Big up Luke, man.
How we doing, guys?
So, let me just read this out to you guys. So this is Neil Jones, Luke. Obviously. If you know Neil Jones is he's to be trusted. So Fabinho injury update. Jurgen Klopp has confirmed afterwards that Fabinho has felt something in his hamstring, but has said the player was quite positive about it. We'll see the extent of it in the next 24 hours. Klopp also confirmed Andy Robertson was only rested tonight and not injured. So
Fab's not starting the final. He's not starting the final.
No. He's been saved for the end of the month. No doubt.
Don't risk him.
Yeah. Champions League, isn't it?
Hey, lad. I gotta run. How you doing, Luke? Welcome into the show. I just want to say something on Savage Point before I jump out. I gotta run, guys. I don't really like Henderson, and it's not because of who he is. It's because of who he reminds me of. Henderson plays just like me. I'm like that engine in the team. I'm that vocal boy. No, I'm serious.
You don't like yourself.
No. I'm saying Henderson reminds me of me. He's like a better version of me, if you will. He'll do anything for the team, and that's not me. That's not me because I think Genie did the same thing. Genie did the backward passes, recycling the ball. That doesn't look good. And that's not me. I won't do that for the team. I'll take a man on, beat him. I'll do the extra stuff.
Yep.
So I don't have that professional side of me. And I know this. I'm a humble guy, so that's why I never went pro. Or else you guys would have been singing my name. I'm telling you. I'm not a team player. I'm only a team player when it comes to defending. When it's defending, I'll throw everything at the defending. But just a regular game, no, I'm going at it. But that's not Henderson. If Henderson stopped playing for the team, he'll be on the bench every week. He's a team player. And I think that's also his biggest downfall. He doesn't want to take those additional risks to be the Kevin De Bruyne and grab the game by the scruff of the neck. So he tries a bit too hard when it's not needed. And when it's needed, he plays it safe. So he doesn't really find that right balance. I think if he was 2 years younger, he would have been able to find that balance. But because he's at Liverpool and he's constantly fighting for his place, he never had the right amount of time to find that balance. And then he's taking a captaincy off Gerrard.
Yeah.
He never really got that moment to properly develop. Going from being on the transfer list to, all right, now you're the captain. People don't think about that. You're on the transfer list. The club wants you out.
Yeah.
And the next season, you're the captain. That's a big jump. That's not, all right, we want you out. We're going to put you on the bench. Now we're going to put you on the team. That's we want you out to, you're the captain. So clearly something is there. It's just not consistent. And I've accepted it. He's a great leader on and off the pitch, but he's inconsistent. World-class passes, they're like 1 in 5. Dribble past a man, it's like 1 in 100. So it's these other parts of the game that we like, that we look to City for, that we look to other teams for. You're not going to see with Henderson. But when it comes to picking us up, leading from the front, even if he don't got the legs, you can still see him trying. I mean, long busting runs. I mean, he's doing everything he can, but the team is actually past him, but they need him in a way to still lead.
Do you think do you think that's because it's him and Fabinho at the same time? I
think Henderson is that that right side 8. Fabinho is just a straight 6 or right back.
Yeah.
The difference is Fabinho's range of passing is better than Hendo's.
Okay.
So to ask Fabinho to go where Hendo is, Fabinho don't have the recovery legs.
No, I mean one of them doesn't play.
Yeah, it is. It is one or the other.
Yeah,
and that's
I
kind of
think
what's messed up.
when they're both together, it's like both of them are not going to take people on. And
right, so you lose a lot in the midfield.
Yeah,
you lose that Oxlade-Chamberlain element. You miss that Naby element, even though Naby doesn't really show up much. But you miss that element of Curtis Jones tricking up a man, dropping a shoulder.
Yeah, it's the opposite to City. City have Rodri holding in Fabinho's spot, but they're two people ahead.
So you have more guys in City's midfield that can run past you.
Yeah,
that can break the lines.
Yeah.
So especially if you got Milner, Fab, and Hendo, no one is breaking lines.
Yeah.
No,
when you have Genie will hold the ball, being pressured by like 3 guys and break that pressure. Now we're away.
Yeah.
You're not getting that from Hendo. You might get it from Fab, but he's gonna need another player to help him with that.
No,
so
right,
with Hendo, you're losing a lot in the midfield.
Yeah.
Matip does it more than both of them, and he's a centre
exactly.
back.
So it's weird, but it's also what makes our team unique. Because what you would expect from your midfielder, we got that in one centre back.
Yeah.
You know, and then the things that Trent does also covers for what our midfield lacks, as far as the range of passing and outside the box stretch. So it's a weird dynamic from our team. But hey, it's Liverpool. Nothing is easy.
I don't think we'll be like that next season. I think we'll be like that next season. I think next season.
I think we'll be the same. I think we'll be the same next season. I think this is what Liverpool is under Klopp. And that's why I never was like FSG out and I was never like Klopp out. It's this weird, perfect mixture of chaos and beauty. You know, 1 minute they can wow you, and then the next minute you're drunk, passed out because you're stressed out, you know, or you're consoling some other things because your heart rate is too high. And that's Liverpool, man. It makes you feel human, I would say.
Well said, my friend.
So I gotta run, guys. Hey, big up. I'm still gonna tune in. It's just I got some errands to run. You guys be safe. Luke, Tarmizi, I see you. Hey, bless up, man.
Big up. Stay, my friend. See you soon. So we got Tarmizi looking for the 1892 Red Podcast. Guys, I've put Luke's channel in the chat. Go and sub to it. And the other guys.
Yeah, man.
Rods is there, Jax is there, Rods is there, and Savage is there. So go and sub to them, guys.
Cheers, thank you.
And they're all Liverpool fans doing great stuff on their channel as well. So make sure you check them out.
Big
so
love
I just
for
get to. No worries. I'll get to Tom Izzy first because he's been waiting a while. Tom Izzy, how did you think of today's game, mate? How did you feel about it?
Throughout the game, I feel we could have been more clinical because their defense is our taking. If I have to be honest, in my opinion, you know, their defense, was it Konsa and Mings?
Yeah.
The centre backs, they were shaky. Yeah, I've seen a lot of times in the first half we penetrate Naby and then Jones. It's just that we didn't take. But all in all, a win is a win. We move, and you know we just need to focus on ourselves. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is what it is. So that's my take on the game.
Yeah, I mean, get the 3 points and move on. You're exactly right at the end of the day. Luke, my man, how are you?
All good, mate. It's been a while, but all good, mate. Just win's a win. I mean, you know, we got the 3 points. I think that's the main thing. Obviously, we wasn't at our best tonight. I think we were quite open in defensive areas and in midfield areas. But that was going to come. I mean, with the rotation in the midfield, you know, Jones hasn't really started. I don't think he started a game, you know, for a good couple of months. So that match sharpness isn't going to be there. I think Simic has to be fair. I think first half was quite poor. I think they really come at us in our sort of wider areas. But I just felt that it was one of those games that even before the start of the game, I just felt that it's one of those games where Liverpool just have to find a way, and we have tonight. You know, we found the way. We got the goal. To be fair, we had a bit of pressure, but we didn't really sort of make Martinez make great saves. you know, we had a couple of half decent chances, but there was not really anything that we could be proud about that we actually tested and worked the goalkeeper tonight. But at the end of the day, we scored 2 goals. We can't complain. We've got the 3 points, and we just have to hope now that Wolves will do us a favour tomorrow, and then West Ham. I do think that if Wolves, I do think if Man City get the win tomorrow, then it's going to be very, very difficult for us to catch Man City over the 2 games.
Yeah, totally.
I'm happy that we've put a little bit of pressure on them in the sense where if we'd have dropped points tonight, then City could have won the league before we play Southampton. So at least now we've got that sort of in their mind that they have to win these 2 games now. And obviously, like, let's not be mistaken, like, Wolves are still fighting for a conference league spot. West Ham are fighting for Europa League as well. So at the end of the day, like, they've still got stuff to play for. And, you know, Aston Villa, even though we weren't at our best, you can clearly see that Gerrard doesn't want them in holiday mode themselves. So even that last game of the season, I know City will be heavy favourites at home, but at the end of the day, like, Gerrard's in the back of his mind, in the back of Coutinho's mind, and in the back of Ings' mind, like, they're going to want to try and do something for Liverpool against City. So, you know, let's just hope that's, you know, we take the win tonight, we take the 3 points. And the last thing I wanted to say, Southampton haven't lost 9-0 yet this season. So, you know, it could be Tuesday night.
It's incoming.
I mean, the main thing is 3 points, put pressure on City. Let's just hope Wolves do us a job tomorrow.
Yeah, no, you're bang on. Look, you're bang on. Right, I'll just get to some of these chats because there's been a few. Liverpool, we love drama, but we would want it any other way. Yeah, I mean, we are the drama team, ain't we? We do like it. It's never easy, is it? Liverpool, we love drama. I still hope. This has come from Manchester Mania, who is a real Manchester United fan, by the way. But, you know, it still hopes Liverpool win the quad, just to realise how small a club we've become. So that's Man United for you. Duran, who I love Duran, you know, great band. How you doing, my man? How you doing? Pablo, have you heard the ridiculous news, by the way, guys? City have bought Haaland and now they're putting in a bid for Frankie de Jong from Barcelona, as is possible, Jamie, because they're corrupt.
I agree with that.
Is, Liverpool, we have players that work in our team and fit Klopp systems, and that's what it's all about. Yeah, exactly. Chelsea have big name players, and no moments, no consistency. I get you. Is it true Mane only gets $100,000 a week? It certainly is. That's daylight robbery. So let Mane go. We would be mad. Yeah, Mane's going to get double his wages. That's $200,000 a week.
Do you think Liverpool give him a new?
Yeah, 100%, mate. Yeah,
I think Neil.
Without doubt.
Neil Jones
muted there for a minute.
Neil Jones and Paul Joyce tweeted today saying that a deal is Liverpool going to sit down Mane in the summer.
Just that hug from Jürgen at the back end of that game, he was like, "I'm not letting go of you." Like he was like, "Thank God you got out of the shit tonight." Yeah,
if it's at the clock, he ain't going nowhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
City's getting away with this transfer shit like Madrid and Barca used to do. So if we did what City have done, we would have been done for. Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, City are the sponsors of their shirt and their ground are owned by the people that own Manchester City. I don't know how this is. I mean, they come out number one in the revenue, commercial revenue, didn't they, over Madrid, Man United, and Liverpool, which is, it's a bit, we won't go too much into it because it's a bit dodgy. All right, lads, how's you anyway? Thank God for that win. Nerves are kicking in. Also, I'm going to continue watching Avatar tonight. Yeah,
go ahead.
Andrew is big on the Avatar. He's seen Avatar 2 trailer hit yesterday, and me and Andrew were talking earlier and said the last time I watched Avatar is when it came out in the cinema all that time ago. So, I need to go back and watch that film. We need players like Hendo because they are the gorilla glue that holds us together when we need it. Fair enough. I mean, that's some sticky shit. I don't know if you've ever got that in your
I know.
That's some sticky shit.
You're fucked.
I mean, I'll put my kid on the wall for about 4 hours with that stuff. It's great. Can we have a show on this City transfer stuff, Jamie, or like maybe next show a little segment for it? What I will do I've taken a note of that already, Pablo, because there's loads of shows I'm going to be doing in the summer, like all the other boys here as well, because You know, the football season stops, but we don't. So we will carry on during the summer. So all this content I'll be giving you in the summer. So things like that, Pablo, I've taken a note of it already. We'll talk about that in the summer when your season's finished, and that's going to be some good videos. Hendo is 6 is better, so good. He brings in more speed. Fab is super slow. Hendo at least has a chance to catch players. That is true.
Yeah, that's what I agree with.
Fab's pace is a bit,
Tuchemani be class if we get him.
That's why Tuchemani is so good. If we get,
look,
if it's, I said this. Me and Jack said this earlier. So City are getting Haaland. That's all done.
Yeah.
I think us getting Tuchemani for the midfield area is as big as City getting Haaland. I don't know what you guys feel that, because
I agree.
for us, that's what we need.
Yeah,
It might be bigger. It might be bigger.
We need Tuchemani, and this kid is ridiculous, by the way.
No, I agree with that, Jamie. I think it's Liverpool, for me, the number one priority we need in midfield, and that's either Tuchemani or we've had talks about Bellingham as well. I don't think Dortmund will sell both Bellingham and Haaland in the same window, but it is definitely what Liverpool need right now, and that's a central midfielder in the summer.
Yeah.
Because I think I think Ox will probably be on the way out. If Milner doesn't get offered a new contract, that's 2 midfield players gone. I think the only player in midfield that gets offered a new deal probably would be Keita. So, it probably would be a big signing for us.
Yeah. And with
I have a question.
Go on.
Yeah.
Go for it, Thomas.
Jamie. By the way, guys, do you think that the bearing of the final that we have on the 28th would influence Tchouameni's decision? Because Real and us are chasing.
They certainly are. Well, what I'm hearing, I can only go what I've heard so far. So apparently Real Madrid are interested in a striker this summer and not a midfielder. Apparently that's what they're saying over there, because they got Camavinga in, ain't they? And Camavinga,
he's playing
diamond of a footballer, And I think Valverde can go into their midfield positions as well, and he's a youngster. Kroos is 32, but he plays like he's 51 there, don't he? Man, don't move. And Modric is still a beast. Modric is still a beast at 36.
Casemiro as well.
Casemiro. So I don't think they need a midfielder right now. I think they're still after an attacker. So
even in midfield, they've got
they're getting Mbappe.
Yeah. And if they get Mbappe,
but ain't they getting Mbappe?
Well, apparently Mbappe's staying at PSG.
I've only signed a new 2-year deal with PSG.
Yeah, that's the rumor. Yeah, that's the rumor.
There's big rumors.
Okay.
Which is mental, by the way, if you're Mbappe. I just don't get that personally.
Yeah, but they're offering him some madness in it. Talking about shares in the club, and
yeah, it's going to be like close to $1 million a week, ain't it? Like 10% in PSG, and it's going to be all that, ain't it?
Football's so corrupt, man.
It's wrong, but I think Liverpool are front runners for Tuch. I think Liverpool are totally the front runners for Tuchemani. It's just like Liverpool, if they want to pay them. Yeah. Monaco wants 70 million for him, but we know Liverpool are very good at haggling, like a British man.
Yeah, but I think at the day with that sort of money, and I think that Liverpool will make that money back. You will make that money back in shirt sales and so forth. You're going to make that money back, and I think really and truly that's why Klopp wants to get Tuchemani, and he's got Fabio Carvalho to quick up the midfield, because it is a bit kind of like the midfield that sometimes is a bit slow. So now you're going to get these 2 fresh young players at the day in the midfield for that can quicken up the play. Do you know what I mean? That can get people like Keita further forward, get people like Henderson further forward. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of the times I think that Henderson, he stays back and does the dogged work. He don't get chance to go forward. You know what I mean? He's either covering for Trent Alexander, or he's covering for Fabinho. Do you know what I mean? So he does a lot of work off the ball, so he doesn't get time to sort of go forward. There's only certain times to say, you know what? If he's playing certain teams, he's going to get forward. So I think that's why he's buying Tuchemani and Fabio Carvalho and for that, because it does inject some pace into that midfield, so you can get the balls to the striker, to the winger quicker than we're doing now.
Oh, I totally agree. I think our midfield's I think our midfield's going to look completely different in a couple of years' time.
Yeah,
I think that's what we're going with. You got Carvalho coming in. This kid is special. If anyone said he is special, and he's got a very high ceiling. I think we're all forgetting about Harvey Elliott.
I was just going to say that.
Harvey Elliott, the young prince. You know what I mean? He's going through special talent. You know, there's plenty there. We are building for the next generation. You know, in the next lot. Right, match stats for today's game. So Villa had just under 40% of possession. Liverpool just over had 60. Liverpool had 17 shots, but only 6 on target. Villa had 9 shots with 4 on target. Okay. I said me and Jack were talking about this in the game. Felt very Liverpool had. There weren't a real time I thought Liverpool had control in this game, guys. I don't know what you feel about it. I just don't think we controlled the game at all any time today, Jack.
Yeah, it was chaotic, as the lads have said, and that's where we're speaking about midfielders as well. When Thiago, he's probably one of the best players in Europe. We've mentioned Modric and Kroos, players of that ilk, really. And we seen when Thiago, we had a bit more, tiny bit, but I think it was fair play, as the lads have said. Teams always turn up to against us, and they won. But you've got to give credit to Villa. They've given us no time on the ball at all, really. You wouldn't think that they were languishing, really, in mid-table or wherever they are. They don't need the points, but Stevie set his players out because the newspaper headlines would have been Gerrard stops Liverpool winning their league title. They had it all already pre-printed, didn't they? But we got past there. It was the frantic nature, and you're going to get that. And hopefully that is the case for Wolves tomorrow. West Ham, I tell you, if Jarrod Bowen is fit and Antonio's back from his injury, I think the West Ham game will be the game where City do stump up a couple of things. So you have to watch them a couple of times in Europe. But yeah, 100%. And the players we mentioned, the players coming in next summer, I think we will see a massive improvement. When you look at Liverpool's midfielders, we've already spoken about all of us, it's that there's room to improve in our midfield. There isn't saying our attacking areas and our defence because it's already so good. But I think that's a point. And I think Jurgen Klopp, I don't know if you lads heard it, and in the press conference after, tried to listen to it, but he was listening to you as well. But he said there is elements to Liverpool's game that we can improve. And that's the most important thing, that there is levels when we've watched Liverpool. And it's quite frightening if it is. That's where Liverpool will probably make a mockery of City if we do win the league next season or win another Champions League over City. And they've spent, 200 million yet again. It's like Klopp's continuously going back to the well and dealing with what he has got. He doesn't rely on vast numbers of millions of pounds. But yeah, on today's performance, mate, fair play has to go to Villa. They didn't allow us any space on the ball, time in midfield, but you're going to get that. You're going to get it. And just a quick one. I don't know if you lads have still got Sky Sports on. I'm currently watching Joe Gomez. Gomez getting absolutely battered by Sterling getting absolutely battered by Gomez.
Yeah, and it was the shine the Liverpool City.
It was the classic.
It's catching me eye every so often.
It was the classic Pep 1, 2, 3.
We looked so good then. I want to bring up Trent Alexander-Arnold, guys, because he's coming for a bit of criticism, and recently, on this channel, only the other day when talking about the Spurs game, we thought, we all go about Trent's defending. As I say, I don't think Trent's a bad defender. I just think he's lazy at times, and that's what makes him look bad sometimes. And
I think he forgets he's a right back sometimes.
Yeah, I think he does. He's so marauding. He's so marauding. He forgets his position. But I thought in the second half, arguably, apart from Mane, Trent was our best player today. I don't know what you think, Savage.
I thought he was good second half. I don't know if I thought he was the second.
He improved, yeah.
He definitely improved. He was actually good tracking back today. I only saw one part where I kind of highlighted it to my son because it was the same thing he always does, but it didn't amount to anything. It was when Coutinho chipped the ball over his head. But when you watch the replay back, once Coutinho chipped over his head, he just left him. He didn't even bother.
He stopped.
Yeah, he kind of does his thing. I know I mention it all the time because I want everyone to notice, when someone gets past him, he does first thing he thinks of is he tries to grab you. He like swings an arm at you first, or if he's running after you because you've got the ball, he has this tendency to just push you in the back, and sometimes he gets away with it. But I'm always worried about it. But I did think today, first half okay, second half he was way better. I thought he was really good. His passing was better today than it was against Tottenham, and to be fair, the Tottenham one's gone now, isn't it? Because 90% of the time he's putting in perfect passes. And to be fair to him, a lot of the time he puts in balls in the box and stuff, and the strikers ain't clinical. And he could have more assists. Like today with Naby, that pass to Naby was perfect. And to be fair to Naby, it happens, and I don't want to act like he's the worst player in the world, but they are fine margins that if Villa did get back and score, I would have said like Naby, that pass was so perfect, you had to just tap it in. But yeah, Trent was good, man. He did drift into midfield a few times, and that's why the captain's there to tell him to like piss off back to the other side. But like I said to you in the open, I think he's just it means a lot to him, and when things ain't going right, there's a tendency to like grab the I need to do something for our team. So sometimes he'll start spamming in the balls in the box and stuff like that. But when he takes his time, especially when Salah's on it. When Salah's on it, Trent looks way better. I don't know if anyone's noticed that, but since Salah's been off it, that's what, and it's because like the overlaps, Salah's not doing them as much because he just wants the ball to cut in inside, and then Trent starts cutting inside as well. And I think that was the difference when Gomez played because he always tries to find the byline instead. But yeah, man, Trent's good, man. I think with Trent, he's lived the lifetime of a footballer in a couple of years, and he's still young.
He's only 23.
So he's looked at as a senior football player now. He can't make mistakes, but realistically, by the time this season finishes, he would have won every trophy possible for Liverpool already. And he's not even reached his 24th birthday yet. So you take that into account. I'm very happy for him. And to be fair,
that's madness. That's mad.
Yeah, Villa wasn't easy to play against.
No,
I said to you before, I'd had to go in a couple of chats and have a word with some of the Liverpool fans. I was like, listen, you lot are kind of ridiculous as you think that people were saying like I've lost respect for Gerrard if he puts out a good team or if he's rested Coutinho for this game. I'm like, bro, this man we love Gerrard, but he's an op when he's Villa manager and we're playing against him. He's the op. I don't want anything good for him. I don't care what happens to Villa. Like you want him, so that's the kind of man you want at a club who just lets the other team win. That's ridiculous.
Just to add to your point, it's the same thing about you got Danny Ings and Coutinho as well. They're ex-Liverpool players, and we all love them at certain points in our careers. But when we're playing against them, we don't want them to win.
Exactly.
You know?
I want the best. I want the best. No, let him throw the best of what he's got. You know what I mean? I can see what he's made of because we're Liverpool. I think we can beat anyone. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, they get fired up. And one point, because I heard Zabira made it earlier about teams seem to roll over for City and then try their hardest against us. I think there's a thing to it where it's just the fact that it's Liverpool Football Club. I think some people can't get past the fact, like when you take away that who Man City's got as their team, it's just Man City, isn't it? It's just Man City. Like no one really sees them as whatever.
Liverpool's a bigger scout.
Yeah, because this has always happened through the history of Liverpool. People always step up to play against Liverpool. Yeah. And another thing, Man City's style of play, I can see why you would throw the towel in after a bit. You shouldn't, because you're professional and you should be caring about your fans and not letting them down. Right, but when the team just those you for 10 minutes, just passing the ball around like it's a training game and you can't get the ball and you're tired, once the third goal goes in or the second goes in, it's like, I can't try as hard now. Because Leeds actually were playing well against them, but it finished 4-0. It shouldn't have. But all of a sudden, it was like, well, we can't do anything now. And then they just go through. Whereas the way we play, our style of play, because we're always trying to catch people offside, which works most of the time, it makes it look like we're giving teams an opportunity to get in. So today I seen them play the ball over the top a few times. And I was worried a bit, but I knew that I always look at Virgil's face first because he's so on it that I'm like, okay, it's offside. But you seen Danny Ings' finish. It was offside. It was a great finish, by the way. But these are just balls over the top and stuff like that. You won't do that against City because you have to get past their midfield and Rodri just sits there and De Bruyne doesn't have a position, so they can play a little bit different. It's kind of annoying for them, isn't it? But, man.
Totally different teams, ain't it?
Yeah, but Trent played well. Trent played well. He was a good player.
Luke, my man.
I think Trent's got a thing.
Go on, Rod, quickly.
Oh no, I was just saying. I think Trent, in the summer, just got working parts of his game. He's working parts of the game, like your positioning and so forth, and that, because he's not a bad player. He's not shit. He's a good player, and as you said, But at the end of the season, he'd have won a lot of things, and he's not even 24 yet. Do you know what I mean? I think sometimes we probably are guilty or expecting too much out of Trent. Do you know what I mean? Because of how far he's come. But just thinking in the summer, just work on parts of your game, because everybody has to do it. All the best players have to do it and work on parts of the game in order to get better and to be the best and everything that. And if you can work on his positioning and everything that, because the only thing I can see with Trent and everything that, the bad thing I see about Trent is his positioning. I think everything else is all right. It's just his positioning, being in certain places that I think that's gonna sort of like, you know, make you be able to defend this and defend that. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know, because like you got Sami Hyypiä, and then right, Sami Hyypiä, when he got older, Sami Hyypiä knew he didn't have the pace, but what he had at the day is a good footballing brain. He had a really good footballing brain. He know where to be and what time to be in that space and everything that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. He would just step today. He would step here and everything that. He didn't run. He just knew where to be. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that made him at the day sort of like a good defender. So he just got to work in his position and I think everything will be fine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree. Luke, Naby Keita, what did you feel of Naby Keita's performance today?
I've seen better. I've seen worse. I mean, the miss that he done earlier, it was just like, it's not meant to be for us tonight. That's how I felt at the point.
What, when he stepped on the ball?
Yeah. I just felt, you know, when that happened, I felt, you know, it wasn't even a fact of like the wrong player at the wrong time. Like Naby Keita is more than capable of scoring goals and more than capable of finding positions, but I think he tried second half. I think he tried to get in behind. I think there was a lot of times where, I think it was like 3 or 4 times where he would have a lot of space around him, and then he would have his back towards goal, and then maybe he would turn, and then he was just sort of unsure whether to drive forward. He was sort of sometimes unsure maybe to play wide, you know, like try and cut back. Yeah. I think there was parts in his game where I was quite happy with, where, you know, he was trying to find himself in the good areas and trying to find some sort of, you know, bit of link-up play with the wider players today. But one thing I would say about Naby Keita, not just from tonight, but this season, I've been quite impressed with Naby Keita. The main thing with Naby Keita this season, which I think all Liverpool fans will be happy with, he stayed fit. You know, and that's what that is for me the main feat and the main reason why Naby Keita has been so much better this season. And if he gets offered a new deal, then I think he deserves it. I think he's done everything that Liverpool fans and the Liverpool team have wanted him to do, and he's definitely contributing to this Liverpool team, not just in the league but in Europe as well, and obviously the cup runs. But yeah, I mean, just going back onto tonight, I think, as I said earlier, I've seen better performances, but I've seen worse performances with Naby Keita. But you know, he was. Yeah, he just needs to find his shooting boots. Do you know what I mean? That's all. That's all I'll say. But no,
he had a good effort from range towards the end of the game, didn't he? He hit that ball well. He was unlucky. I agree with what you're saying. I mean, I think he's, you know, the chance he had where he stood on the ball from the Trent cross. He actually started that as well. That was
he started it great as well.
That's what I mean.
He ran at the defence, took a couple of players on, linked it, ran into the box. That's what we want to see, ain't it? That's what we want to see from Naby constantly. And the thing with Naby, I think the fitter he gets, a bit like Thiago's got. Now Thiago's fit, you're seeing the real Thiago. Yeah. It's not that he was never a bad player. He's always been able to do this. You just, when you're not fit, you can't do it, can you? It's as simple as that. And I think we're starting to see that now with his name's got out of his head. With Naby Keita. And it's the same with Matip as well. You know, Matip's been injury free all season. He's been like, no one ever talks about Matip, but the man's just been, you know,
he's been our most consistent player, man.
Yeah, there ain't been better centre backs in this Premier League this season than Joel Matip.
A lot of people like, I mean, obviously even some of us Liverpool fans would, you know, straight away would say Van Dijk's been one of our best defenders and probably the best defender this season. But to be honest, I think Joel Matip has definitely been up there as one of our most consistent players this season. And to be honest, I think it's been difficult for him as well, in a sense where when he wants to play games, obviously, like he's obviously been out the last couple because Konate stepped in. Yeah. But I think it's been difficult there as well when he's played well, and then Klopp's rotated him a lot just to obviously, to keep him fit, keep him fresh. But at the same time, you can see that he wants to keep on playing. Yeah. And I think if that carries on, I think for the rest of the season, especially for the league, I understand why Konate plays in Europe. Yeah. But I think for the league, I think Konate's got to be playing for the rest of the season. He's just been incredible, and he's definitely up there as one of our players of the season. There's no doubt in that.
Yeah. I wish you'd shoot at the end of them runs, man. I'm screaming at my TV, man. I'm like, yo, come on, man. I don't even know if he can shoot because he never does at the end. But when he picks up that ball, Jesus, man.
I mean, was there one in the first half, wasn't it? I think there was a he sort of faked a pass out wide and then got in behind the midfield, and it was like, oh, here we go, like Matip's off again, off on an adventure as always. But
would be goal of the season if one of them goes in. But
I mean, he done it against Leeds, didn't he? It was a little link. He got his goal against Leeds.
That was a good goal. Good goal.
Yeah, but we do want the one where he takes on about 8 players and then
just smashes.
Yeah.
Puskas nominee.
Right, I'm going to go round you boys with this question. All right, Tsimikas obviously came in today for Robbo. And like I've said numerous times, quality difference is not much difference when Tsimikas comes in for Robbo. The only thing with Robbo's got, if you ask Robbo to play a 4-hour game of football at the highest level, he will play a 4-hour game of football at the highest level and he won't drop. Where Simi, you can see he gets a bit tired. But Robbo's not been in the best of form for me lately. Tsimikas, when he comes in and gets his chance, he usually takes it. I'll go around the table on this one, guys. Starting with Jack. Would you play Simi on Saturday instead of Robbo?
No, but I want to. I want to, but it's even obviously Costas come on late on against Tottenham, didn't he? And the crosses were a lot better off corners and set pieces. I think the amount of times we did the first man on the Robbo corners against Spurs, but as the lads have said, started off a bit shaky, but he grew into the game second half. I'd go. Me head's going. Robbo, you got to pick him. He's the assurances. He's played in finals himself before, but my heart's saying Costas. But I'll go with Robbo, mate. No sitting on the fence, but I'll go with Robbo.
No, I don't think there's a wrong answer. Really, I love both of them. Rods.
No, I wouldn't. Tsimikas, he looks a bit rusty today because I think he doesn't get much games and I think that. But then he, as the game went on, he improved and improved. But I think with Robbo, you know what you're going to get from Robbo. You know what you're going to get and I think that. So I think I would stick with Robbo. Do you know what I mean? If he starts blowing or whatever it may be, you got Tsimikas to come on a bit later. Do you know what I mean? But I still think at the end of the day, sort of like out of the two, I think Robbo's a better left back. Do you know what I mean? But Tsimikas is very good as well. Do you know what I mean? He's very good. He's coming in he's adjusted. Do you know what I mean, to the style of play and stuff. But I would go Robertson, big Robbo.
Yeah, no problem. Luke.
No, I mean I understand everyone's viewpoints of why Tsimikas could start, but I mean it's a cup final. You want, no disrespect to Tsimikas, he's not better than Robertson overall. No. You want your best players in a cup final, but the only other reason why I would say you'd pick Robertson, apart from it being a cup final, is Chelsea's one of those teams you have to get in their faces, and Robertson is that type of player. He will just constantly keep running. Obviously, he'll be getting on Chelsea's nerves. He'll constantly be around. He's obviously going to be that player. I mean, we need leaders on that pitch on Saturday. And let's not forget, Robertson's obviously an international captain. He's been pivotal for Liverpool's success over the last couple of seasons, along with other players. Andy Robertson starts this game for me on Saturday. And Tsimikas, as you know, you guys have said, I thought he was poor first half. I think second half he come back and improved. But maybe due to a bit of sort of match fitness and match sharpness, maybe. But no, for me, Robertson all day long on Saturday.
Yeah, I agree. I'd play Robert. I thought I'd just put this question out in the atmosphere. Savage, what do you reckon, my man?
Ideally, I would play Robbo in both cup finals and Tsimikas in the league. It keeps Robbo fresh. He's so intense anyway, and I know his fitness levels are high, but imagine having those fitness levels with so much rest in between. Because we've got 2 games left in the league now.
Yeah, Southampton.
Yeah, so it's just two games each, and he definitely has to play in the finals. Not only because it's the final and he's a leader on the pitch, and he will get in people's face, that's for sure. Just like he did against Barcelona until he got injured in the semi-finals before. And also because of the personnel we're playing against. Forget the whole team, just that side of the pitch. Because I think Chelsea will be Reece James, and he doesn't stop going forward, Reece James. He pretty much is a right winger, Reece James now. And then against Real Madrid, it's probably going to be like Rodrigo, and it's the same problem. And I think you're right. He needs to get in your face. To be fair, I don't think the drop off between them much at all in terms of talent.
No.
But Robbo's intensity is probably not matched by anyone in the damn league. He doesn't stop.
That's what
we need that. I need like put your life on the line for the team kind of performances and that. And Tsimikas does have tendencies sometimes to have to go into the game. But I think it's like what you said. I think it's just the fact that he's coming from not playing. So everyone else is afforded. We've played the game before, and he just gets thrown in, whether it's a sub or not. But Jack was right, man. He was good against Tottenham. When he come on, he's probably the better player. And his crosses are... I do think, though, with Robbo, if he plays his own game, doesn't overthink stuff, and he's got that nice link up with him and Diaz, then Robbo's always going to be a problem. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I wish you'd sort his shooting out, though, Robbo, because...
Because he could score a few goals.
It just doesn't take his time. That's why he rushed it. Hits it so hard.
Yeah. Rushes it. Right, before we finish,
one thing. Sorry, I was just reading through. So the actual 39th Premier League game between Liverpool and City is off. There was a scenario where if Liverpool would have won 2-0 tonight, then the 39th game could have been on if they'd have finished level points, level goal difference, etc.
Yeah.
But because Aston Villa scored tonight, it would have meant that Man City would have had to have won. There's loads of different scenarios, but because Liverpool won 2-1 instead of 2-0, that game is now off. So that actually can't happen.
I don't know if I could take a 39.
They'd probably play that in America or like somewhere, wouldn't they?
It's only because as well both teams both games was 2-2, wasn't it? In the head-to-heads.
Right,
So there was that scenario, but we just got to hope now.
I think our goals scored is pretty similar as well. I think they've scored like 2
more. They've
scored 2 more. And
I think we're level now. I think we're goals scored.
When they played against Newcastle, before the game kicked off, we were 1 goal ahead of them on goals scored.
Yeah, it was something crazy. I mean, but it's
not much in it there. There's not much in it. We can only pray for tomorrow, guys. That's all we can do. But we're not going away, and that's going to piss Pep off even more, which makes me happy.
Make him spend more as well, won't it?
Make him spend more. Right, before we go, guys, I'll go around the table here and give me your man of the match and what rating you go and give Jurgen Klopp tonight as well. So, Jack.
Sadio man of the match, 100%, as we said tonight, mate. Give him a 12 out of 10. Love the man. Get him signed up to a new deal, and he'll probably score in both finals, as he always does. But Jurgen Klopp held his nerve. 10 out of 10. Yeah, obviously, one substitution was taken up from an injury, so he can't control that, can he? So, but Jurgen got us the 3 points in the end, Sadio and the boys. And I like that he's got that ability he's not afraid to leave a player on the bench, regardless of who it is and who it isn't. He was like taking no shit off Salah tonight. It's like, right, I might be resting you for the final, but if Salah's unhappy, sod him. But yeah, 10 out of 10, mate.
Pick up, Jack.
But yeah, cheers for having me on, mate. I really do appreciate it. It's great to speak to the lads.
Thanks for me all night, Jack.
Yeah.
You've seen me longer today than my wife, my man.
Sadly, I can't cook as good, mate. Anyway,
you're bad. Sadio Mane has got to be the man of the match. He's just non-stop work rate, and he scored a terrific goal. Do you know what I mean? And he does that. He's got that in his locker. Do you know what I mean? To come up with his goals and everything like that. He just reminds you of the game in the day that we played against Barcelona. He didn't score that night, but his work rate that night in the day was phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? It was phenomenal. everywhere around the pitch and everything. That he's an ideal footballer. So he gets a match. Jax, he gets a 12 out of 10 for me. You know what I mean? Klopp at the end of the day, I'm gonna give Klopp a 15 out of 10. And he's not just for tonight. He's not just for tonight. Now, seriously, it's not just out for tonight. It's like where he's taken us this season. He's taken us to levels this season from that, right? That I don't think any other manager could have taken us. Do you know what I mean? You know, because you know what, Ade? Even though we're not going to win the quadruple and from that, yeah, it's a fact at the end of the day that we would have played every game given to us this season and from that. Every game.
Man.
And we haven't done, we've done well and from that. And that's down to Klopp building a team. Do you know what I mean? Building a team at the end of the day, building a dynasty. Do you know what I mean? And like tonight and everything that, right? Even tonight and everything, he kept cool and everything that. When one of his best players got injured, he kept cool, brought on another player and everything that, and you know, we won the game. Do you know what I mean? So, but for the whole season and everything that, do you know what I mean? The way he's taking his team is phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? So Klopp, he gets 15 out of 10 for me. Do you know what I mean?
Just for rattling Pep as well. Pep was in another interview today, wasn't he? Like he come out and spoke more about Liverpool. Like even if we do lose the league, it will be ours. But like for the sake of it's making Pep and City spend more and more and more and more money. And we'll probably still be like
net spend of Liverpool every season is 30 million roughly. And I think Pep was about, I think was it 1.6 billion they've spent? 1.6 billion they've spent in 10. I think it was about 90 million a season or something like that.
Yeah, it's madness. It's absolutely madness. Luke, you're a man of the match.
Still one of the cup here.
My man of the match tonight. I'm gonna be a bit of a party pooper. I mean, Mane was superb, obviously with his goal. I mean, it was a close John Moss in second place.
Oh, he was playing as an extra DM tonight for us.
I mean, as you know, Jack and Jamie, obviously I referee at sort of grassroots level, but he is the worst referee I've ever seen. He just can't keep up with play, guessing decisions. He was just shocking. But I'm going to go Van Dijk. The only reason I go Van Dijk was I just feel that if there was any other central defender playing there tonight, I think we may have lost the game. I think there's a lot of chances that Villa had him behind. Watkins and Ings cause us some problems, and that leadership that we've all spoke about. Van Dijk has got that in abundance, and I think Van Dijk, I'm going to go with him tonight as our man of the match. With Klopp, see, I mean, the performance itself wasn't great, but I think, as Jack said, and I agree with it, I'm glad he's dropped Mo Salah because that definitely shows the type of manager that he can be, and that's, he's not afraid to drop whoever it is. Like if you're not playing well enough, or you need a rest, or if there's just something that he feels that's better for the next game, then if it means dropping Mo Salah or if it means dropping Luis Diaz, then so be it. But I'm gonna give him. I'll give him a 9 just because of that. I think first half performance wasn't great, but second half definitely improved and got the win. So yeah, I'll give him a 9 for Klopp.
He sees Salah a lot more than us, Johnny Boys, and he's probably if it is fitness, obviously as the lads have said, 2 finals on the horizon. But if it isn't, or it's an attitude problem, or he's seen a little dip in performance rate or work rate, then Jurgen's entitled to him. And I think I just want a new season to start because all we're going to be waking up to is that Fabinho tapping merchant twat tweeting all about Salah every single day.
Oh, you know
it's shite that he will do.
How about the far post?
Savage, wrap it up, my man.
Yeah, same. Virgil, man of the match for me. I watched him intensely all game, and I know that he makes stuff look easy, but there was a few one-on-ones where he could have let them through. There's one with Ings where Ings was grabbing Virgil's top. I think they called for a handball. He just stayed cool as hell. He didn't move when Ings tried to push him. Shoved him off a little bit, and then calmly took the ball. Did it against Coutinho as well. Coutinho megged him. It was one of them weird megs though when his legs were wide open, running the wrong way, and he caught up with him real quick. And Coutinho flapped it then and fell over. He just gave up. And that's what he does. He brings to the team, and he's so calm. I know his heading ability goes under the radar just because of how tall he is and how big he is, but he literally wins every header. Like, it's ridiculous. I'm watching big people in front of him, and every time he wins it. And I think he just shored the back line. Most of the offsides, what were offside, were coming from Virgil holding the line as well. But I thought it was great. Now, Mane was close second, to be fair. But yeah, for me, Virgil, I same sentiments that I think if Virgil didn't play and it was Matip and Konate, probably would have drew the game or lost the game, to be honest. And Klopp gets a 10. I think I can see the way he set the team out. So once I'm happy with that, and I try not to be from like a selfish standpoint, because sometimes you can just have players that you want to play. But when you take a step back, you're like, there'll be games where you're like, oh, we want Origi to play. We just love Origi. But then I'm like, if he ain't been playing all season, Klopp's just going to put him in for sentiment because I want him to play. It's not really going to work. And he changes the way we play a bit. So he set the team out fine. The team was shaky in the first half, but I don't think that had anything to do with him. I think that they were just shaky. Then he has his little jog off at halftime, what Gerrard copied, by the way. I seen Gerrard jogging off as well. And then we came out second half and we're way better. I seen him screaming on the touchline, moving people across, having words and stuff like that. And he was in the fourth official's ear all game, man. I love him. So, yeah, we get 10, man. And we won the game. It's a bounce back from the Tottenham game. Although, I have to remind everyone that we didn't lose the Tottenham game. It just feels like we did, but we didn't.
Oh, I know. It's madness.
Could be a big point.
And yeah, man.
It could still be a big point. You're right.
Exactly. We just have to win the games. And I was guilty of it in the game. Like, once we got to 1-1, in my head, I started making up all these scenarios of how much goals we should score and that. Realistically, I don't think the players will think about goal difference until we're like, say we're 2-0 up already or 3-0 up, then they might try and go for more. But I think at the moment, it's just like, let's win the game. And you can see these teams are not going to roll over against us. Villa was a hard enough game. We've still got Wolves to play. They're kind of solid, to be fair to their manager. He's done great this season. They're very organised, so that should be hard. I'm sure Connor Cody's going to be fighting in that game as well. And then Southampton as well. Hasselhoff was a great manager, man. You saw what he meant to him when the beat us before he was crying. So, yeah, man, we just got to win the games. And if we won't win all our games now and City don't slip up, which we all want them to, but if I go just on how City play, they might not. But I want them to. I'm proud of the boys from where we came from in the league anyway to even catch up with them. And then the fact that the Champions League is the last footballing game of the season, I'm going to feel okay anyway because we will win that. I'm not even going to be thinking about the league. I'll think about it maybe next season. And I don't know any Man City fans, so it's fine.
Man City win the league. I don't know any Man. It doesn't really matter.
I just see something on sorry, last thing was on. I think it's Squawker. I think it's
yeah.
They gave Virgil van Dijk a 5, and the reason was apparently the way Virgil van Dijk played poorly is to have him play at Villa Park. The Liverpool Colossus was all over the place yet again at the Midlands and never looked himself. And Virgil van Dijk actually tweeted them back with a laughing emoji.
Virg.
A 5. Did you see everyone? Did you see when Ollie Watkins was trying to back into him towards the end of the game and he just fell over in a heap and Virgil just looked at him in disgust and played on.
He's going to arrive at the officers and batter them,
It's ridiculous. On that note, guys, we'll say Tom Izzy, obviously our regular over here, he gave the Colombian Cartel Diaz his man of the match. Got to say, we didn't talk about him tonight, but he was fantastic again. He's
he was dope, man.
He was fantastic, and he's going to be special next season. He's going to be a very special footballer for us. And guys, thank you for everyone for joining me tonight as well, guys. Everyone's links are in the chat, guys. Go and check them out and subscribe to these great people. All Liverpool fans, all love the club. Go and give them some respect and subscribe to them as well, guys. And for the video earlier, so everyone knew I did a video this afternoon which went a bit mental. I got 5,500 views on it. That just went mental earlier, so I appreciate everyone for tuning in.
Yeah, that went.
New subscribers and the likes on it, so big up to everyone as well for that. I really do appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow in some kind of form as always. I think I'm doing the City. Yes, I'm doing the City watch along tomorrow, so I'm putting myself through it. I don't know why, but I am doing the City watch along tomorrow, and I'm doing the North London Derby watch along as well because I want to see violence. So I am doing that watch along as well. So that should be fun.
That should be fun, man. That City
Who do you reckon's gonna win
watch
it?
along. That City watch along can last 20 minutes because the game's over.
That stream
or we can go right to the death, man.
That stream might be very quick.
I mean, me and Jack got a couple of hours on our stream tomorrow night with Man.
So guys, make sure you check everyone out on the guys.
We'll be there, man.
Big up, man.
See you again soon, guys. Much love.
Yeah, boys.